Hey there, Soul Tribe. Welcome to your week ahead reading. We're going to be asking the universe for a bit of a snapshot, a kind of a sneak a peek into your week ahead. Ideally, this reading is going to give you a chance to anticipate and plan so that you can continue to move forward through this week in a way that is completely in alignment to yourself. Now, I do have an energy around you. It's a little bit dreamy and it doesn't surprise me. I suspect that the next week or so, it's going to be emotional and it's going to be very important that you keep a good head on your shoulders because underneath there, I have the card of isolation. And that means that you may feel like you made a mistake in the previous week. This energy is going to be very tricky to navigate. So I am very glad I can be here to support you guys through. So if you want to know what is next, stick around. If we haven't met yet, my name is High Priestess Berries, psychic medium and divine channeler, hoping to bring you a message. Now, always remember, my messages are candid, unscripted, but they were also timeless. So please tap into your instincts, listen to your intuition. If there is anything that I talk about that doesn't make any sense, totally fine. Do not worry about it. This message may not be for you, but if this does resonate and you desire to show your support, make sure to subscribe and share your situation in the comments below. All right, let's have a look at these jumpers. Cutting ties, like considering this leaped out, I'm just like, wow, someone's being extraordinarily melodramatic. There we go. Okay. Got a melodramatic narcissist. You knew it was you spent too much time nurturing this. You've really seen through something this like leading into this week, you've seen something. Some of you took that time to be introspective, make that time for yourself, self-care. Others of you, you're just ready to move forward, power through, and get shit done. I am curious. We got a glow up. Oh man, like while it was very difficult to dive into this reading, there's a huge warning you need to be aware of right now, guys, that you need to be very aware of who you are. Like, write it down, whatever your intentions are for this week, because something may come back up to the surface to make you second guess a very important decision that you made. So I'm going to be using these cards as sort of little they're like little sneak peeks into the questions that we're going to be asking the tarot, what it is that you do need to know to figure out what kind of week you are going to have, because a few of you are going to be struggling this week wondering, okay, I know I can get through this, but how am I going to work through it? But remember, even right here, it is about time. You are going through a glow up underneath there, trapped, stuck, no options, unforgiveness. You're really picking yourself this week. Like I'm Priestess Berries is so proud of collective right now. Let's just have a quick look at cutting ties. Like what happened last week? Like epiphany. Something came up to the surface because you guys, I was saying earlier, you have been doing the self-reflection, and when you relax, oh man, like those are when the ideas show up. That's when you can start getting the downloads and getting the answers that you need. Something you did last week worked and it started this sort of chain of reaction of events. Like a lot of people are emotional and you're just not having any of it. Man, what's your intention as you kick off the week, especially in context to this egotistical, fragile little egg person? Whoa. Wow. The moment I landed this card, I felt startled, and it's as though my voice tried to leap back in itself. You are really confused this week. There is a very important reason why this is showing up for you guys. Because narcissists are clever in the sense that they'll find ways to make it your problem for standing up for yourself, especially if this individual was accustomed to you being there for them. Maybe you were meant like a mentor, very generous, but like there's some semblance of accountability. You knew that you did wait a little bit longer than you probably should have before having to cut ties with this. And that's this anticipation where I'm feeling like something may come back around. What is going on with time? It's sort of like, what is your mood? I'm hearing procrastination, but it's also anticipation. What are you anticipating this week? Consequences. Oh man. So some of you may feel, just for a brief moment, maybe you did something wrong. Maybe you made a mistake. And I have to say, because I do see the clock over here, it's going round and around and around and around. You are more than likely in a dynamic where you did stand up for yourself and this person came back. I want to point to this person. No, they're actually right here. They kept coming back and making excuses about how you were the one being unreasonable. They always have an excuse and they always ask you the question and then they use the words against you. Like this person, the situation, they're really, really manipulative. But because of the your giving nature, always want to make sure that you're not withholding your nurturance from someone who's deserving. And this person, their full-time job is to convince you why they're deserving of all of your energy. And some of you may be genuinely worried about the consequences, but given I see the determined look on this gal's face on this card, there is a few of you there could be a few of you who are sort of willing to test this person. A little bit of, okay, try me. What are you really going to do if I really decide not to speak to you ever again? If I really decide that it is over between us? Like, there's something very definitive that you are going to be intending as you go into this particular week. Like, what are you working through in the 3D? Like, you used to give all your nurturing energy to somebody else. Where is that going? Envy, resentment, competitive, discontent. This is more of a warning of what you could be walking back into if you choose to ignore your intuition and give this energy a chance. Like, this kid always has an excuse, but I do not think you're actually dealing with a literal child. This is someone who they behave like a child because they know they can get away with it. It's a bit attention seeking, a bit of a pity party, but considering we do have this glow up right here, they know you're going up to the next level and they want to keep you at their vibration. They are not happy for you. Like, have you ever heard the difference between jealousy versus envy? Jealousy can manifest as, well, I wanted to do it with you. It's not that you couldn't do it with anybody else, but I would have enjoyed experiencing that with you. An envious person says, you can only experience that with me. So this person, I want to get a little bit of clarity before we split the timelines here. What is this person envious about? Because it could be you're moving on to a different relationship, but I think this is a little bit more your visibility within the public. This person does not want you to be successful. And what's even more frustrating, we'll see what the cards have to say when they finish shuffling. I feel like this person may appear as though they've got their shit together, sort of this like, you need me kind of feeling. What do we got? Son of Wands. Like, this is a very creative person, but they're creative with their words. They're creative with the way they kind of work around the issue underneath there. Yeah, Son of Cups. Like, they're pretending to be the swan. Notice this sort of S shape. This person is a faker. They actually are a very intuitive person, and what they're doing is they are trying to mimic something that you would fall in love with. Like, people like this, narcissist, maskers, this is not a very well intended energy. And oh, there we go. This was showing up in your reading last week, if I recall. There's an inner truth that you need to see. Like, you could be feeling anxious that this person's going to pop up again because you don't want to have to keep experiencing the same frustration, having to say the same words, having to defend yourself again. But if this person keeps coming back, it means you still have a little bit of a, I'm going to call it a weakness in the system. It doesn't mean that you are a weak person. It just means that there's a way better way for you to stand up for yourself so that you can protect your incoming manifestations, especially with how people who are abusive and narcissistic, watch how they try to make peace with you. There's actually a really amazing lesson the divine's trying to show you with how this person operates, because narcissists and abusers work on a cycle. And it's one thing to, you can go online, you can study the abuse cycle. It's like you got the honeymoon phase, and then you got the argument, and then you get to make up, and then you go back to the honeymoon phase. That's a very loosely worded version of how this cycle works. You know what it looks like on paper, but there's something about what you are experiencing energetically that's magnetizing this type of person. Because if you can close this out by seeing the cycle, you will finally be able to have healthier boundaries with your future soulmates, because you will magnetize people who are capable, they're actually successful, and they will be able to give you good advice. So that said, let's split the timeline. Let's have a look at what could happen depending on, ooh, okay. It's a little bit of a choice. Are you going to repeat this cycle, or are you going to break the cycle? And I think a few of you guys are really nervous because you're really worried that you could repeat this cycle, and you just don't have any more excess energy to dedicate yourself to these types of vampire archetypes. So let me go ahead and clear the board. And guys, if this is really resonating with you and making a lot of sense, let me know by liking, because whenever you interact with my videos, I get a ping from the universe that helps me more clearly read your energy. So make sure you participate. It helps me to help you. All right, guys, this is how the game is going to be played. I have two animals here for you, because how are you supposed to really know what timeline you're on, and how are you going to trust your intuition? So you have two options. We have squirrel spirit, believe in yourself, and badger spirit, be fearless and bold. Wow. Are you a squirrel or are you a badger? You guys have one locomotive, two locomotive, done. So, are you a squirrel or are you a badger? Pile one, first timeline. Who are you? Badger spirit, be fearless and bold. Pile number two, you are squirrel spirit. So go ahead, check out the timestamps below, and you can leap to your message and get some clarity on what is next for you in the week ahead. Well, Badger spirit, this is your chance to be fearless and bold. Like, really feel like a lot of energies around you. They have misjudged you. There's someone around you that's counting on the previous version of you to not speak up. But you're going to be encouraged this week. Really speak up for yourself. When you are speaking your truth and you are being honest and you're speaking from your soul, you are calling in angelic energies, and you are taking control of your own timeline. So I got the pulp tarot because there's a lot of melodrama going on, but I'd like to think that you're going to be the hero of your own story. But at the base over here, King of Wands, and I'm hearing burn burn it all down what's underneath the King, Four of Cups, just because you're so disappointed. Like, there's a really great chance for this particular week for you to feel so confident about just starting on a completely brand new level. Like, everything that you've done led you up to where it is that you have been, and you haven't had the time and energy to rebuild, because it takes time and energy to rebuild. And this person that you've been dealing with, they've been taking up a lot of energy that would have been better suited for you to build a solid foundation and to have a healthy life. Like, what do we have after we go to cut king, or I want to call it the king of pentacles? It's the knight of pentacles. This is your due diligence. And in some ways, this is you learning how to not entertain certain pokes at you. Like sometimes being fearless and bold isn't going out of your way to get angry or to attack or to come up with a really sick burn. Like that's how this person feeds they feed off of your anger. They're basically a Sith Lord as far as I am concerned. But the Knight of Pentacles, it's like, all right, cool. What else do you got? What do we have underneath it? The moon. Wow. Like there's some fantastic connection to your primal energy that's being protected at this time. Like you have so much protection around you because the universe, your higher self, the flying spaghetti monster, they want you to really have the win. All right, so how are other people behaving around you? Let's get a little bit of clarity. Seven of Swords. Shady shit. Like this is blame shifting. This is someone trying to go through the skeletons in your closet and trying to use your words against you. But the weird thing is that this is all their bullshit. Like, it's sort of like they would claim they broke into your closet, but technically this is their mess. A few of you may be asking a person to move out of your house, and it's sort of like, look, take all of your stuff out of the closet and leave. But this person still thinks that they have a chance with you. it, this energy this week is very deceitful because you may be accidentally still over empathizing with this individual, and being able to thoughtfully clear your energy and discern your own emotions from their emotions is going to be critical during this time. This person's going to lie. They're going to bring up old memories. They're going to blame you. They're going to blame others. This person is more than likely pulling out all the stops. They want to do everything that it takes to keep you around. This feels really all or nothing. Like, this is intense. Like, how are you reacting and responding to this? Again, I got more fire. Burn. Burn it all down. There's no going back. Like, in some ways you have a little bit of ammo in a way that isn't hella karmic, because remember we have our knight right here. This is okay, cool. What else do you got? It's like, well, you did this and you did that. No, that was yours. What else do you got? Well, you were saying this and you were saying, well, okay, but you said that. What else do you got? Like there's something about you utilizing this. It's like this cold stubbornness mixed with hot fiery passion. I know it's more like hot coals. And this person, in a lot of ways, they're just digging their own grave. I see you here, just like this is actually quite satisfying to watch. You're just observing this individual. Like you're on the defense. Like, you're hot as hell. There's a compliment in here. There's a reason why this person is fighting so hard to stay within your life. But you've been hurt one too many times. Like there's actually probably a fresh argument that had happened that was sort of the final straw, which is why it will be important for you to really tap into the Knight of Pentacles this week in order to make sure that your emotions don't get caught up. Like, this is their emotionality. They're bringing up all the passion. They're trying to burn it all down. They are trying to do whatever it takes to make you so scared that you would stay with them. They're trying to give you the worst case scenario if you leave them, if you walk away from them. Like this person is relentless. Like I'm actually finding myself, I'm stuck in a feedback loop with this person. So I guess the ultimate question is like, how is this week going to end? Like, what kind of Friday will you be able to look forward to? Because honest to God, I'm feeling really nervous about asking the question. I feel nervous for you guys. What do we got? Two of Cups. Two of Cups. Guys, don't tell me that you're gonna succumb to this. Don't tell me that's what this is. I'm gonna grab the tarot over here. Like, this could feel like some kind of resolution. And I think it's because you have been tapping into this cool energy. This feels like a very calm conversation. But let's have a look because I'm not seeing any helpful swords. Like, this person keeps using your words against you, and there's something about you. Oh, okay. You finally depending less on words and speaking from soul. Like, I see you as more of the masculine energy. It's a little bit of kind of a King of Cups kind of vibe. It's like, hey, look, I know you want all of this and you want to continue with this, but I know what I want. So what do we have? Two of Cups. Oh crap. Kind of love this. So two of Cups and the Emperor. Like, you guys are being encouraged to really access your masculine energy because this person has been trying to karmically confuse you from a feminine perspective. And the words that they're saying are no longer resonating with your actual reality. They've been trying to cater to a past version of you. Like, I did shuffle it away, but if you recall, there was that snake, the Knight of Wands, pretending to be a Knight of Cups. And it's one of these things where you are the Knight of Cups. You are a very loving person. And this individual, they're just too immature and too naive. But let's have a there we go. This is the conversation to be like, look, I need to take a step back. I don't want to invest into this anymore. This is the card of the miser. This is budgeting. There's something very thoughtful and toned down because this person just wants to keep hyping up all of your emotions and making you skip over critical information. That's actually how they retain their power. Ace of Wands, because it's sort of like you can feel that this could reset. You know that there is a risk that you could give them another chance and another chance and another chance. But the problem is, how many times have you gone through this cycle? Like 20, 30, 40, 100, 1,000? Like, who's counting? This person's counting, but they would use it against you. But there's something about recognizing that you do need to actually hold back. You need to hold back your physical resources, your mental resources, and your emotional resources. Because if this was the other way around, I'd be worried for you guys. Be like, okay, let's bang and make up again. And then find yourself back into realizing you shouldn't have done that. You're being way more thoughtful about your communication, slowing down. In some ways, listen to what the person has to say. Like, I just look at her expression, it's like, "Oh my God, are you actually listening to the words that are coming out of your mouth?" Um, and there's a chance for you to kind of, down not to look down on this person, but to meet them with where they are at. This person has a lot of issues that it's not your responsibility. I really feel at the end of the day, Badger, you are going to make some very thoughtful decisions when it comes to your relationships because I really believe because we see a two of cups crossed by a two of cups, this is going to clear you out so you can finally welcome in true love, the actual relationship, not a pretender, but an actual loving person. So, I think I'm going to leave it at there. I want to get one final message for you guys just because this has been a really, really difficult reading. So that's the crows for a message just because this is a lot about communication. So it could be a tearful Friday, it could be cathartic, but I really feel like you're going to be having the conversation and just understand what this person has contributed to your life. Don't lie to yourself. Be honest with yourself about how this person's presence has actually impacted your life. You could communicate it to them, or you don't have to. At the end of the day, if you can take the lessons of this week and just recognize that you are important and that you see people for who it is that they truly are, you're going to be able to make some amazing decisions. All right, Badger. Well, however your week manifests for you, I really hope that this helped. Thank you so much for sticking around. If you found this helpful, please make sure to like this video on the way out. And if you're kind of curious about the next message so you can get help with this person in the following week, I highly recommend that you subscribe. And until I see you at the next one, I'm wishing you peace, love, and all the berries. Hey, squirrel spirit, do you believe in yourself? Like, do you actually believe in yourself? If you're here, you picked pile two. And we got this right off the bat message where you actually do need to believe in yourself. I feel like you're going to be facing your shadows this week to really put you to the test. I really feel like you're going to be put through your paces this week because you are more than likely a little bit too, what's a nice way of putting it? Dependent on other people validating you. And if you can understand this aspect of your shadow, it's going to help inform you and help you understand why you're dealing with a person of this annoying level. But before I go to cut the bottom of the light seer, we do have the world, which you have the opportunity to end this. And it's going to be so important. Nobody else can do this for you. There's something about a need for you to start standing up for yourself and actually not involving as many people in your daily affairs. What do we have? Yeah, Page of Wands. The Page of Wands can be a little bit flippant, and I'm just kind of curious. There we go. Seven of Wands. Page energy can be a little bit flippant, open. Well, I'll just go along with whatever you want to go along with. And honestly, there's no judgment. Like if you are neurodivergent like me, ADHD, oh, it's very easy to be a very flexible personality. And you may have been just very flexible, going with the flow, thinking that's what it meant, going with the flow. But you never really believed in yourself. And it's one of these feelings where you kind of jumped around with somebody because they had confidence as though they believed in themselves and you admired that. But as time has gone on, you haven't necessarily improved in your belief of self. That's part of the cycle that needs to break in order for you to find freedom and move forward. I love that. Queen of Pentacles. No matter what ends up happening this particular week, you're being reminded you are a very kind, generous, loving person, and you deserve the best for yourself. Not all energies, just because they're nice to you, doesn't mean that they are going to be worthy of your energy because you're still accustomed to allowing other people to validate your belief of self. What's underneath the queen? Strength. Well, can you believe in yourself? Can you believe in your own bullshit? Can you actually believe that you are a generous person who's been with somebody who lacks generosity? There's something about the way that you've been thinking about your situation that needs to change. And once you adjust the mindset, you're going to find a lot of freedom moving forward. So, how is this other person, this third party, behaving? They want to celebrate. Let's go out. Like, this feels very superficial. And this could be a little bit of trying to rekindle a little bit of the romance. For this may not necessarily be super literal, but it's like the wedding couple that had a really bad vacation together and then they come back and their solution is to go on another vacation in order to relive a honeymoon, to relive a better vacation. Like, there's someone here that wants to keep you a little bit stuck in the past. I actually do want to clarify this Four of Wands with how this person's behaving. And this could also be more simple. Let's go for a romantic dinner. This feels almost love bomby because we see the Queen of Pentacles, and believe it or not, this person doesn't believe in themselves either. There's a codependent dynamic that the universe is trying to illustrate to you because two worthless people who are stuck together will never learn how to believe in themselves. They'll just keep reestablishing how I'm worthless and I know you feel worthless too, and I feel sorry for you. And nothing actually changes. Like, you seem to desire to want the change, but this other person, Son of Pentacles, they're actually stalling you. They're actually blocking you from making any proper decisions, and they could be, let's see, oh, there we go, we got our devil right there. Yeah, they're trying to get you stuck. They're actually trying to get you to forget the original argument, forget how you got there in the first place. This person, I'm seeing a little bit of this party time Burning Man feel. This person, if they're an enabler or an addict, they're just going back to their old vices, and they really want to have you along for the ride. So what do we have here? We got the Empress, which does go really nicely with the Queen of Pentacles. They actually do see you as this be all and end all. They love you, but there's so many question marks associated with it. They're comfortable with you. I hate to say it this way, but it's like they only want to keep you around because you guys have the same hairdresser or the same drug dealer, or like the reason why they want to stay with you is just like my shoulders are really stiff. Like this person is not flexible. They're just constantly skipping over how it is they actually feel. Yeah, we got the Chariot. Your path to getting away from this person, how do I phrase this? This is paradoxical. I enjoy a good paradox. You need to believe that you need to believe in the person they think that you are in order to get away from this person. But this person, there's some weird illusion that you both have with each other. But once you believe in yourself, you can break free. Like, I'm having a very difficult time moving through this energy. Like, this week is going to be very dense with emotions. And it's going to be so important for you to keep yourself anchored and grounded and remind yourself who you are, what you really want, even just out of today. What do you really want out of today in order to have the best possible aligned life? Like, how are you reacting to this? Three of Swords, not again. Like, I'm actually really pleased to see that. This person's pulling all of the stops to try and keep you stuck in a toxic cycle. And if you're able just to see it for what it is, like you do need to feel some heartbreak. This person wants to stick to the surface, not actually talk about what is technically going on. They'll say things like, "Oh, we're meant for each other. We should go on a vacation together." Like, "Why can't you take me with you?" Like whatever rhetoric they are using against you, like every time they do it, they break your heart. Like even just them asking. It's sort of like you go to talk to them and confront them about it, and they skip over the thing and they just go back to, "Oh, we should just go to dinner. Let's just do that." It's very flaky, and it just hurts you again, like especially if you really believed in this person. The real illusion is that you believed in a lie. And I'm really sorry to say that, but you have believed in a lie. And until you're ready to believe yourself, not believe just in yourself. You need to believe yourself. You need to believe that you're heartbroken. You need to believe that this person's superficial. You need to believe that you're a kind, generous person. Like, this sounds like a very dense week. So, I guess the ultimate question is what kind of Friday are you going to be able to enjoy as you I want to imply enjoy, and in some ways that feels a little bit sarcastic. What's going on here? Page of Pentacles. Like, this does feel very restful. Your Friday is going to at least manifest where you've had a bit of a difficult week. You've been studying hard. You're probably going to be sore and a little bit tired, but you're going to get something out of this. And it's all about upgrading you so that you're not just a page where you just talk about your sense of worth, you actually believe your sense of self-worth, but you got to start somewhere. And it starts with you anchoring in. This person wants to run off, fly around, be all like rainbows and unicorns and shit, and you need to anchor yourself in. Like, while this will be a bit of an exhausting week, I feel like by the time you get to Friday, you're gonna have a very valuable lesson to anchor you in so that you can actually start feeling good about who it is that you are and where it is you would like to go. So, to close us off, let me grab The Crow Oracle. I'm getting the sense that take advantage of this week for meditation, have some quiet time, and actually reduce stimulation. This person has had a grip over you because your nervous system is accustomed to being stimulated. But taking the lessons of this particular week, quietness will probably be helpful because you need to understand why you got into the situation in the first place and understand your motivation, why you aligned yourself to somebody of this nature. When you're in survival mode, you make decisions that are only important within the moment, but you've learned to grow and you've learned how to protect yourself. Now it's time to break apart the things that you use to protect yourself. Just take time this week, write a few intentions down, and remind yourself of what kind of a person who you are and the type of person you'd like to be. Just anchor that in. Wow. Well, guys, however it is your week ahead manifests, I sincerely hope that this helped. Thank you so much for sticking around. If you like my style, please make sure to like the video on the way out. And if you need some continuous support in the weeks ahead, I highly recommend that you subscribe. And until I see you at the next one, I'm wishing you peace, love, and all the berries.